So tell the audience the name of your book.
Yeah, so my book is called Money Queen. The book was born, like I said, through a lot of experiences working with entrepreneurs, my own entrepreneurial journey. Money Queen is not a person. It is a mindset. It's not just for females. It's literally just for the person that really wants to take the reins and take financial ownership and be like, I can learn enough about how to do this. It's that important that I actually want to take this book and implement it. I probably have another book in me, but it might be a little bit more on the personal side. We'll see.
Oh.
Shawn French, what up? This one's luck, I let the pain inspire me. I put my all in everything I'm doing. Up until it's done, I'm me for the entirety. I put in overtime, I be working. Just know I'ma go for mine, cause I earned it. They watching, I know it's time. I confirmed it. A whole society determined.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Determined Society. I'm your host, Shawn French. And before you forget to hit subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple, why don't you go do that and be prepared to have an amazing experience listening to my guest today that I know you're going to want to share the story with somebody. So start thinking of that person that you're going to send this to. All right. Follow us on all the channels at the Determined Society and at the Shawn French. So today I have with me a badass entrepreneur, a CFO, and author, Bridget Boucha.
Hey.
Hot in from Hotlanta.
Hot in from Hotlanta. Naples is gorgeous right now.
Isn't it?
Yes.
You get sunburn or anything yesterday?
Got a little sun yesterday. I had to be by the water for a bit.
Yeah, I know. You guys got in town. You guys were drinking it up a little bit.
Had a little marg. Yeah.
Little marg. Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Where'd you go specifically? You went to the Roads
End. So it's just a cute place where you can park and then walk. You can only get there on the boardwalk, which is such a beautiful way to embrace the ocean.
So you were like literally like embracing the culture of Florida by going to like this tiki hut.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Well, you got to settle in. You got to feel like you're not in the city.
Otherwise, it would have sucked today.
Yeah. So it was beautiful.
That's great. That's great.
Glad to be here.
So you're sat by there's a big debate now. I mean, is it the Gulf of America or is it the Gulf of Mexico? I'm sorry. So you were by the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. I just call it water.
Water.
Yeah.
Water. Ocean. Salt water.
Completely happy. It's
fine. It's called water. I was by the water.
Yes.
That's awesome. So you have fun in Naples and everything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been here a few times, but not to experience it kind of on my own. I'm here with a girlfriend, as you know, being able to have some fun conversations like this. And
it's great. It's great.
Yeah, totally here for it.
After lunch, you guys need to go to Waterside Shops.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You're going to spend a lot of money, but you're going to love it. It's beautiful outdoor mall.
I've been warned. Okay.
Yes,
perfect.
you have been warned. So listen, you've done so many amazing things. You've worked with so many amazing people. You have an amazing book out that I want to talk about. But first, I want you to educate the audience just a little bit about your background and how you've been led to doing what you're doing now.
Yeah, sure thing. So hello, community. Yeah, I grew up in corporate America. You know, I'm originally from Minnesota. I grew up in a small town. My parents weren't really entrepreneurs. They divorced when I was real young. And I guess I was kind of always a gold star chaser, you know, do this, get that, whether it's academics, sports, college career. And I just knew that in order to have a life that I wanted, I decided that I needed to, you know, do the college education, stable job kind of thing. So I started my career path climbing the corporate ladder like a lot of entrepreneurs have. Not all of us, but that's how I started because I knew that making money would give me choices. Right, sure. And so after 15 years in corporate, I had some success there. I made CFO of a corporate company by 30.
Jesus.
I felt like I won, right?
Yeah,
like
of course.
Everything allowed me the opportunity to just work more, work harder, work weekends, relocate, do all of those things in order to reach that goal. And I felt like I won. And then a couple years in, I realized this feeling was kind of foreign. I felt disconnected and burned out. I didn't really have language for it at the time. I was the least woo person. Really? Super logical. Money. Oh, come on. CFO.
Yeah.
LinkedIn profile.
Driven by the numbers. Yeah.
Contracts, spreadsheets.
Yeah, sure.
And I think your body will always tell you, even though I didn't have language for it, I was really disconnected. And so I jumped ship about 9 years ago into the sea of entrepreneurship. And that journey has been all kinds of things, rough, rocky, completely. I've gone through 2 points in my life that we can tap into where I call it creative destruction.
Ooh, nice.
Just completely flip your world upside down and then get the opportunity to build it back the way that you want it.
Dude, let's go into that, please, because that's like, it hit me because I'm thinking of like 2, 3, 4, 15. Like how many times?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I've
a lot.
I don't even know what it means yet, but I can imagine what's coming. So,
Well, it's like, you go and you start to make decisions that align with something that you believe. And it might not be the traditional path. It might not be the thing that you've been investing in. For me, it was my accounting degree and my CPA license and relocating and all those things. The first time I would say was leaving my corporate job. I mean, it was an opportunity that I worked really hard for. I was doing well at it, but when you start to underperform, you can feel that there's like some sort of that passion is gone, and you just don't want to go out in a way that doesn't feel genuine. And so you make the really untraditional decision of leaving the corporate job and the salary and the benefits and the paycheck every 2 weeks. That part was something I had to get real used to. And that was where I completely flipped it upside down. But what I didn't know at the time was how much my identity was tied to that.
oh, dude.
I didn't have the CFO title anymore. I didn't have an office. I was nobody's boss.
Yeah.
I felt like, which is untrue now, but if you've ever made a decision like this, particularly those of you out there exploring and experiencing ideas with entrepreneurship, they can't take it away from you, your experience.
Right.
Everything primes you for the next step. And so even though I didn't have those things that I associated with success, I was able to go out on my own, use all those tools and repackage it in a way that felt good to me, that felt like me.
Wow.
And finally, I started to experience freedom. But oh my God, 9 years, that journey, that's a long journey, and it's a lot of iterations, and it's still going. But I can also say I've never been more excited to be where I am now because of all the lessons that have been learned along the way.
I absolutely love it. Like, you talked about the destruction and the identity. Okay, so everybody watching and listening right now, everybody goes through identity crisis, right? You're not with the corporate job anymore. You may have been an athlete, now you're not, or you were an entrepreneurial college student, then you graduated, and now you're out in the real world, and really no one gives a shit, right? You have an identity crisis. But what I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know if I was talking to you, but I was talking on Zoom with somebody, and I was like, it's an identity shift. So if we can take that identity crisis and accept it right away to an identity shift, it is painted differently in our minds. Like, how did you handle that identity shift? Because, dude, that right there, that's a rabbit hole. That's a depression.
Yeah, it really is. We get so tied to that. I mean, we get it's just, a lot of us, and if that's something you're experiencing, that these are the roles that you play in life, same energy. It's you're the source of it.
Yeah.
And so all of those things, like you mentioned the word shift, it's like you don't have to abandon anything that you've done before. In fact, you are more equipped than ever to be able to create something that you feel is making an impact and you feel worthy in. And I went through that spiral for a while. Like, I almost felt like I left that at the door when I left the corporate job. And then it's like, I realized, wow, what if I can bring this into everything that I'm born to do?
Yeah.
And when I left corporate America, and many of you might experience this, if you have a job and that's your title, your identity, but you left it feeling burnt out, I wanted nothing to do with money.
Yeah.
Which is also an interesting story as to how I got here.
Especially your book. Like, that's
I was like, nope, let's play like a little deflection here, because I associated it with long hours and burning out, and I didn't want anything to do with it. So I did everything else. I walked dogs. I did corporate network. I did network marketing.
Right.
I just did a lot of different things and dabbled. And then I realized if you have a passion inside you and you have a mission, and mine is to help people run profitable businesses while living a fuller life. That is my mission. Nobody can fucking take that away from me.
Come on, dude. Come on.
I left. Why do they get to take
Why do they
power?
get to keep me?
So then I thought, I love to do what I do. I'm in these rooms with entrepreneurs. I all of a sudden really quickly was able to identify that there are some really amazing people out there with big missions and big dreams and, making their stamp on the world, and they don't know shit about their money.
Dude.
And I was like,
come on.
Oh,
there it is.
This is why I'm here.
Yeah.
I actually can learn so much from them because they've done all the things that I haven't done as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I can bring it to the table and help them with the one piece of their business that is going to make or break it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where everything was born from that side.
That is wild.
Yeah.
It's so funny you said that, because when I was done playing baseball, I wanted nothing to fucking do with it. It was a deflection. I was like, nope, I'm out. Like, I don't even want to look at a white ball with red seams anymore. And later, I decided to bring that back into the fold, and I was coaching. Then when I left coaching, it all kind of led through sales, and then we're here. And I'm not necessarily coaching, but I've coached myself through a lot of the things that were a void inside me. And now I've been able to build this out of all that pain and bring it to you and bring it to them. And by bringing it to the audience, it has served as a reminder to them that they are no different than me. They are no different than any of my guests. We are all human beings, and we all have struggles, and we all are getting our ass kicked. But how do we respond from that, right? And that's the one thing that I've loved about this platform. That's why I'm obsessed with it. Like, honestly, sometimes I think my wife would probably slit my throat in my sleep if it wasn't illegal, because all I talk about is this. I know that's dangerous too, right? But like, this is such a passion for me. And so I can just see it, right? That when you lit up, just saying like, okay, wait a second, I can bring that from here over here and help all these amazing entrepreneurs that don't know shit about their money. That's purpose. So walk the audience and me through that moment. And even like the next week when you found that purpose again.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think, I tried to do the whole entrepreneurial thing on my own for 3 to 4 years. And I was playing real small. I was undercharging, underpricing, over delivering, like all the things that we do when we don't even like, and I'm in money, right? And it's like, nobody's immune to that, guys. Being a corporate CFO did fucking nothing to prepare me for entrepreneurship, because I was managing other people's money.
Yeah. What's yours?
Team for that.
Yeah.
Not a team for this.
Yeah. It's not your money.
It was the thing. So then I got into entrepreneurship, and I started to spin my wheels for a couple of years, and I realized, like many of us do after trying, we're like, nothing changes if nothing changes. And I was listening to a podcast, and a mentor of mine who's now a good friend and client, they do a mastermind.
Yep.
I had no idea what a mastermind was. You're charging me $8,000 to like be part of are you crazy? And then I thought, well, what I'm doing is not working.
Yeah.
And so that's when I made the investment, got in the rooms, started having these conversations, realized there was a whole lot out there that I didn't know, and this community and this sharing and support was something that I could really tap into, not only for my own business. So I had the idea on the initial round of this. This was in 2019. And nothing looks the same in my business as it did then.
Wow.
What I thought entrepreneurs needed was not what they wanted. Yeah. Even if I, package it this way, like, you're going to go through so many iterations. Your clients are going to tell you, your audience is going to tell you where you might be missing the mark. Yeah. And I was not too proud to keep pivoting and spinning. It's that discipline, right? Like, you really just have to stay nimble. And what happened after 2019? Pandemic.
COVID.
So all of a sudden I step into researching how to do PPP loans, and nobody knew what they were doing. The government didn't even know what they were doing. They're like, wait, we're going to do it this way. No,
they still haven't paid people. They still haven't paid people. But I
was able to step into this role and be this authority figure, coach, mentor to people that were really scared because they had started their business and now it was a pandemic. And so that actually did a lot of good things for me in business, because it gave me a little bit of a confidence that I needed.
Yeah.
And so then we started working with entrepreneurs. I brought in a team. I have a business partner. The key is always to bring in people that do the things that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
And that don't want to do the things that you
the other big key is hope they actually fucking participate.
Yeah. And so that's how it was born. And that has evolved over time. Now we're a fractional CFO team.
Wow.
I think the biggest thing that has evolved out of that is really trying to figure out how to scale that, because there's a lot of people that need help.
Yeah.
And getting the machine running so that we can do that.
Yeah.
And the book came out of that, because I can't be in every room. I can't work with every client. I can't be on every stage. I can't, but my book can.
1,000%.
Right. And so I thought, what if I could just package up all these lessons and all these patterns that I started to identify in working with entrepreneurs around money hangups, money mindset, money rituals, and put it into a book so that I can give it as a gift, so that I can expand my reach. And so that was talk about a discipline. Writing a book is a process as well.
How many times were you sitting there typing like, okay, that sucks, delete?
Oh, 1,000,000 times. And by the time I got to editing, I was like, what was I thinking? Life's changed already.
I know, right?
But I wrote my book, talk about, productivity hacks. I use the timer on my phone, 50 minutes at a time, 50.
Good.
That's how I wrote my book. That's how I do a lot of things.
How long did it take?
6 months.
Okay.
Not bad. I hired a book coach. I paid a book coach to kick me in the pants and say, this is what we're doing. This is your word count. And then I think I told you this on the phone. I actually was training for a marathon at the same time.
Yes.
Because apparently these gold stars are not going to chase themselves. why don't I just make myself miserable all at once?
Oh my God. I remember the goal. I'm laughing because like when you said that earlier, I was like, I remembered myself in third grade looking for my name with the gold stars and not having any.
Totally. That's when it starts. Damn, third grade.
Fucking behavioral charts.
I mean, and I'm still
bullshit.
doing it.
Dude, third grade was horrible for me. Miss Slingstat, if you're still around, you destroyed me. Like I cannot even look at a math equation without sweating. She was a horrible individual. She was like the one, I'm sorry, we've gone here. We've gone here now. She was redhead. Okay. And she had like the bun, then she had the black glasses. And like, she would make fun of me when I would count the paper money wrong. Now, like you bring math to me, my palms start sweating and shit. It's like, it's bad.
Right? You carry it with you.
Yeah.
These things are learned really early on.
Yeah, hi, Miss Slingstat. I don't know how old she was then. I don't know.
We'll never know. I mean, unless she's listening.
Yeah, could you imagine that shit? She goes, "Oh my God, I finally got attention from this guy."
Right.
Attention. She ruined my life. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. So yeah.
She gave you some fuel, right? Like we were talking about all this and just, there's so many different things to, like I said, creative destruction. There's so many decisions that we can make in life that will create a different outcome, but it's up to us to take full responsibility and ownership to do it. And it's not easy.
No,
it is not easy. So in writing the book and going through that discipline, I recorded it for Audible last year. And it was only about 6 months after I launched it. And reading my own words really all of a sudden just hit deep from an integrity standpoint. So my second creative destruction happened last year where I was reading my book and it's all about this like financial framework for soulful entrepreneurs who want to run a profitable business and live a fuller life. I do believe they can coexist. Maybe not all in the same year, maybe not in the startup season.
Right, of course not.
And I started realizing that I wasn't feeling as authentic in my own life. Reading my own words for Audible allowed me some clarity. It was
so
crazy. And so the second one was I ended up ending a 13-year relationship. And that's tough to do. I'm going to be 46 in like a minute. And so when you think of
happy birthday
life, thank you. I'm going to start celebrating after this, after this. When you think about the life that you're creating and the familiarity of it and the habitualness of it and the security, stability that you might have in a relationship of any kind. And then you think about leaving that and starting over, particularly at an age, quote, that might seem a lot harder to meet somebody, right? Or that's a tough decision. But there was something inside me, just like there was when I was leaving corporate, that couldn't unsee it. And it was like, if I don't allow myself the opportunity to create space to let something better in, it's not going to happen.
Yes.
And that goes for anything.
Yes.
Love, money, business, opportunity. I got mad boundaries now. It feels really good.
I love that.
And I also just am going through it. You got to go through it. It's not easy, but I'm ready for it. I feel good about 2025.
I love it. 2025 has started off and like, me and our friend Carol, we joked about it being January 56th. It's been a long month, but I feel that's to an advantage. So we joke about it. I feel like January's been a whole year, but there's amazing things going on. I think it's a shift in energy. And I know it's a little woo-woo, but I can talk to you about that kind of stuff. I think there's massive energy shift right now to where I feel like, dude, like I've been like, it's like that I think we talked about it when we were on Zoom. It was like, I feel like there's this, vibration in me that's been going on for quite some time. And then now it's about to explode.
Yeah.
And it all comes from the deconstruction. Like I want to go back to it because when you were forced to read your own words, it hit you. I was forced to look at myself. It hit me. Hit me so hard. It's like, how can I have a show about determination and being disciplined and doing the things that you said you're going to do if I'm 25 pounds over fucking weight right now? How can I actually stand on what I'm talking about? And see, the problem is for a long time, I was like, well, I am disciplined. I am determined. I built this brand. Yeah, cool, neat. I know what I've done, but do people listening believe it yet? And son of a bitch, the moment I made that decision and got with some people, my buddy Jeff Delaney, my friend Josiah Novak, I said, help me. Both of you guys help me. And, now it's starting to happen a little bit. The show's more vibrant. The response is better. More things are coming because I took action on myself. And a lot of people out there are sitting there thinking about that one thing right now that they've been self-auditing and making excuses. It's okay, but And then there's times where they're sitting there and going, but I don't have this yet. You know why? Because you're ignoring your self audit. Go do it. Go do the work.
It's such a mirror.
It's wild.
It's that people are mirrors. We're our own mirrors. And honestly, if you surround yourself with the right people, they should be.
Yeah. Well, 1000%.
Yeah.
It's good or bad. Like I was looking at I was like, dude, this is not good. Like it got to a point where like, I didn't even want to like go out of the house, and I'd wear things that would hide things. Like, you know, I'd wear hats all the time because I was hiding my face. I'm not saying I'm never going to wear a hat anymore because I'm going to wear hats. But like, but there was a reason why nobody knew that, you know? And so like, I just love that deconstruction, vantage point, because like when you said that about reading your own words, I was listening to myself. I was like, yeah, dude, I don't even fucking believe you anymore.
Yeah.
How are they? So I'm like, all right, bet, let's show them.
And it's so awesome because you get to say, you're like, what would Shawn French tell me? Right? Like, what would if I was sitting across from somebody and they had whatever kind of goal, but we're taking active, inspired action towards it, what would I say to them? And you kind of sometimes got to self-coach.
Yeah.
And really call yourself out on your own bullshit.
It's been amazing.
And honestly, look at where you are now. I mean, we talk about energy. Like I'm woohoo and woo woo. Like there's part both. Logic, part magic. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I say in the book. And it's really, it's about self-reflection. It's about taking action and then being able to share it, because we're all better when we share. Yeah. But when you share from a point of bullshit that you've never experienced or aren't living, then it's not going to come through. It's wild. That energetic exchange is going to be deflected because it's not true.
Well, what I didn't understand, let me take responsibility. I didn't understand that changing internally in and changing my habits would lead to such a bright light shining out. I didn't realize it. And so like people have been saying like, you're glowing. I'm like, I'm just me. Like the first time I feel like me in such a long time. And what we don't realize as human beings is when we're in alignment and we're doing the work, we don't have to double check things. It just all happens.
There's an ease.
Yes.
There's an ease.
Yeah.
One of my mantras this year was, for last year, I guess we are 2025, was I choose for this to be easy. Yeah. That doesn't mean simple. That doesn't mean it's not going to feel emotional. Yeah. But how am I making this more complex? Yeah. How am I overcomplicating a process, a friendship, a reaction? How can I zoom out? Big journal all the time, just pour into the pages. And I feel like that's been a really good practice for me as a tool to be able to zoom out. Yeah. And process things. Why am I reacting this way? Why am I feeling this way? What do I need from the grocery store? Look, everything sneaks into the journal page.
Dude, everything, man. It's so funny because like being where I'm at now is forcing me to get out more. And I'm meeting more people. Like, whereas before, like I would come down and shoot a show. I've been in this area since 8:22 to have an hour for myself. And then I had an amazing 9:30. Then I had an 11 recording, a 12 recording, and a 1 recording. And then after this, I get to go be with my family.
Can I honor your preciseness about 8:22, please?
Dude, wow. God almighty.
I'm a number person. You're impressing me.
Yeah. See, maybe I don't suck at math. Maybe I don't. But no, the thing is like 8:22, I was here in Naples and I was having that hour to myself that I knew I needed to have for me, to have my coffee, to, have a conversation with my business partner, Pat Sickens, to have the meeting. Right. But before, my point is, that was a networking thing. And then something big came out of it. Well, if I'm home laying on the couch, unhappy with myself and just coming down for a show, well, then no wonder I was going to bed mad at myself and I couldn't wake up in the morning and get to the gym because I was just paralyzed. So now it's just like, it's inertia.
You've got what you're doing for your health it's phenomenal. And congrats on that journey and being able to share it, because again, you're always better when you share. And there's somebody out there listening right now that I've taken action. We were talking about eating more protein, right?
Did you take action on that?
I have shifted. Yeah.
Good for you.
I have. So know that even if that's one person, whether I'm going to be a guest on your show or any of these people that are listening, this is a journey that's worth sharing because it can change somebody's life. They could hear something here and apply anything that we've said to any area of their life. They could take action where they hadn't before. Yeah. God, how worth it is that? Come on. It's amazing.
Like, I just think that's but what we do when we're authentic is we're serving. Because without knowing it, we're leading people. And I think that's what's been so special about this. I've one of my best friends I talked to him yesterday, Steven. He goes, dude, like, how's everything going, man? Like, because out of all the years I've known you, this is the most locked in and precise I've seen you. I was like, well, this is me. Like now I'm coming out to play, like, because I've put in the work, and like, I don't want to get lost in that. I really want to tie it back to you reading your book, right? Mm-hmm. To yourself, and it forced you to take action. What were some of the steps that you implemented right away in order to do that?
Therapy.
Come on, man. Come on.
Speak to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, therapy, journaling, I think, it's not a decision to ever take lightly. I wasn't in a dangerous situation. I know some people are, and that's completely different.
Yeah.
So I had to get real with myself, and what could this look like? What would the conversation feel like? Where would I go? And there's so many unanswered questions. Mm-hmm. And, for me, I think just not knowing the unknown, but being okay with the fact that I could stand on my own 2 feet. I have my business. Yeah. I have my community and my support group and everything. I started to just get real clear with it, talk to the right people that I needed to talk to for me. Mm-hmm. And I sat with it.
I love it.
Just to make sure that when I woke up for a week straight, I felt like that was the right decision for me in my life in this season every day.
I love it.
Right? Because it's important. You're dealing with humans, and you want to be a good human.
Yeah.
And so in the end, that was a big decision. And then thankfully on the other side of it, I have some great support. I travel my ass off. I went to El Salvador and went surfing twice this year. I'd never surfed in my life.
You did tell me that.
I thought I was going to drown, but I did it.
See, I would be thinking I'd be getting eaten by a shark.
I couldn't even I would have just been shark bait because I thought I was going to be doing the washing machine under the.
Dude, my business partner, Pat, and he's like bestie, right? He lives in Jacksonville Beach. He goes, I am taking you surfing. I'm like, the fuck you are. I'm not surfing. I was like, you've seen these like shark attacks. I'm not doing it. And the moment I started feeling like, okay, yeah, go do this. My daughter, Mia, Annalena, my daughters, they go, let's watch this National Geographic. It's like I Survived or whatever. It was about a shark attack. I'm like, girls, what are you doing? You're 6 and 8 years old and you're watching this stuff. I'm like, see, that's why I don't go to the beach.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, stay out of the water.
Right. Just have a marg and look at the water. It's very beautiful.
I don't think they can drink yet.
Oh, I did it wrong?
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
yeah.
Shoot.
Well, you're drinking since 8. That
should have told me.
That's why. That's why. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. She may be drunk right now. Just kidding. She's not. So tell the audience the name of your book.
Yeah. So my book is called Money Queen. And it was really important to me that I came up with something where the book would tell you what it's about, but it would also give you an emotion that might not be natural to you, like the feeling of royalty around money.
I love it.
And so the book was born, like I said, through a lot of experiences working with entrepreneurs, my own entrepreneurial journey, and identifying patterns, giving some real simple tips and tricks, and tying your business into your life, like creating that alignment, because it's all coming from one source of energy. Sure. And so that's really what the book is. It's not, Money Queen is not a person. Mm-hmm. It is a mindset. Ooh. And it's not just for females. Mm-hmm. It's literally just for the person that really wants to take the reins and take financial ownership and be like, I can learn enough about how to do this. It's that important that I actually want to take this book and implement it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And it was a lot of fun. I probably have another book in me, but it might be a little bit more on the personal side. We'll see.
Oh, I got a book in me right now too.
I believe it.
I'm so scared to write it.
Yeah. We can be accountability partners.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Verbal contract right here on air. God dang it. Why did I do that?
Just roped him in.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what
You're
I'm
welcome,
doing
audience.
There. Yeah. So the title, I'll say it. My outline's already done.
Okay.
I did it last weekend. After the event, I couldn't sleep because it all hit me.
Okay.
It all hit me at once. And then I maybe slept for an hour or two before we went to the airport. And then on the airplane, I kept going. It's called Blood Type Determined.
I was like, I've seen that somewhere.
It's coming. Now I have to write it. See, I'm always about putting myself in a corner to where I have to come out and swing, right? So the book's going to get written. I don't know when I'm going to start it. I guess I did start the outline. I think what's most intimidating to me is actually writing it, sitting down and like, where do I go? How do I really put everything down on paper? But I think it's a big one because it is the story behind the brand. And so what I struggle with, I'm like, is the brand and is the show exactly where it needs to be for Blood Type Determined to come out?
It never will be.
Right.
Because it's always evolving.
Yeah.
You know how I said I would get to the point in the book and I go back to the edits. I'm like, well, life's changed. And I'm like, well, life is supposed to move.
Exactly. Life
You
be
can't
lifing.
put a pin in something. That's why I wrote my book in 6 months. I'm like, I got to get I don't have time.
Right.
Let this linger.
Yeah.
And for you, I feel like you are disciplined enough based on what I've experienced with you to be able to say, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get it out in the world. And you know what? It might not be your last book.
No, it may not.
I'm excited for you. There's a lot of things with the conversations that you get to have and the connections that you get to make. Oh my gosh, all that experience packaged up and the story behind the brand and somebody that's building something. I mean, give them that gift.
I think it'd be really cool too to have some of the guests, right?
Yeah.
Examples like of what does blood type determined mean to them.
Yeah.
You know, I just think it's a really cool concept because like everybody talks about like what blood type you are, you know, like are you A, B, O? It's like, no, blood type determined.
I really don't know if I know my blood type to be
I
honest.
forgot what I am, but I do have the login for, you know, Redbus. So I can just, you know, go in there.
I'm going to self-proclaim that mine's determined just kind of to get this like, let's go.
When the online store comes online, I will gift you guys a shirt.
Perfection. We will represent in Atlanta.
That'd be great.
Hot damn.
Yeah. So we're going to do that then. Like, let's hold each other accountable for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When do we start?
Well, you already did, cheater.
So I get to pause a little bit then. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, well, let me get back to you after the mic's off. But for real, I think the biggest thing that I hope that the audience is hearing throughout this discussion is like, we're always thinking, we're always ideating. We're looking for gold stars. We're looking for alignment, checking ourselves. And like the reality is that's what it's supposed to be about. There's not a perfect linear path.
No.
At all. You're going to hit obstacles. You're going to just completely doubt yourself and question, and you're going to wonder if you made a mistake. And the reality is your path is your path.
Yeah.
You know, it is literally divinely laid out, and whoever's in charge of it might not be you, but you're on it. Like, keep going.
Gift too. When I did that keynote in Virginia Beach, one of my slides was start with what you have. Because for so long, I told myself the story that I couldn't start a podcast until I had a microphone, until I had a camera. So I had all of this. And then I realized like, that's just an excuse because you're afraid to suck. So what I had to do is I had to get tired of where I was at internally. And I was just so over where I was. I was like, there's more. Like, I feel like I'm doing well in life. I mean, I was in sales, I was in medical sales, I was making great money, but it wasn't it. It wasn't it for me because like, I felt like, okay, yes, well, I'm helping patients and I'm helping surgeons, you know, with cutting edge technology in healthcare. Is that really my purpose? Is that really why God put me here? And so I started thinking, and I get a lot of heat for this on social media. A lot of times they say, well, clearly he doesn't know how it works. Maybe I don't, but welcome to the party anyway. Is I don't want to get to heaven's gates and then God introduced me to the man I was supposed to be. It scares the absolute crap out of me. And so for me, it's more about chasing that guy. You know what I mean? Like that's where I'm at.
And he's here, like he's equipped. He's in you already. It's priming, refining, shedding, chiseling away the shit that you picked up along the way that wasn't really yours to carry.
Programs.
Like there's so many things that we like. I always say like what makes you credible is not what makes you incredible. And what I mean by that is your resume, your LinkedIn profile, like the letters behind your name make you credible. That's great. But what makes you incredible is your voice.
Ooh,
your
I like that.
style.
That's amazing.
Like how you make people feel, and how you solve a problem and those kinds of things. And that's what really, that premise and that concept that I had written about in the book was what allowed me to go from this corporate CFO where I'm like, you know, put up and all that into the CFO where I can be a little spiritual. I can drop some F-bombs. I can relate to entrepreneurs who are multi-passionate and creative. And it allowed me to still kind of marry both of those things because I realized I don't ever want someone like, tell me something about yourself that I can't find on LinkedIn.
Dude.
Tell me something interesting. I want to know that you're on a fitness journey and a health journey. I want to know that you have 2 little girls that you take shopping and this is important to you and that, you know, or where you travel, where you want to go. I mean, that's so much more experiential. And I feel like that's a better way for us to connect.
Absolutely. And it's so funny because like knowing what makes people tick is so important, or like what freedom is. I was on a podcast recently, my buddy, Josiah Novak, he's the one that's doing, you know, handling all my programming for my fitness. He goes, what's freedom to you? that's easy. The ability to do what I want to do, when I want to do it with the people that I want to do it with, and not have to worry about the phone, not have to worry about the business. There's people in place. We're caught up on recordings. Hey guys, I'm out for the next week. See you when I get back. Like that to me is freedom. That's why I want all the money, not so I can buy flashy things. Like, dude, what you see is what you get with me. I'll still be wearing what I'm wearing. I'll still be driving probably what I'm driving now. I might upgrade the house a little bit, but like for me, it's about what experience can I give my kids? Can I show them what's possible in life? Can I leave them a legacy? Can I leave my children something that they can take over if that's what they want? Right? The one that's going to take it over when it's time is my 6-year-old. She's already making tutorials. Listen to this. She steals my wife's phone during like after school stuff, because my wife's a Spanish teacher, and she'll take my wife's phone, and she knows how to get into just the camera. Just, all right, guys. Hi, I'm Mia. Today, welcome to my YouTube. You don't have a YouTube. Welcome to my YouTube. I'm going to show you today how to make a snowflake. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a white piece of paper. I'm going to write Mia on it. M-I-A, because that's my name. But you write your name on yours. And she went through a 9-minute tutorial on how to make a freaking snowflake.
So how does yours turn out?
It was amazing. It's mine now. It's hung up in my office at home. And, but my point is like, that's really cool, because not just giving them experiences, but showing them what is possible with just even looking into a camera and speaking. I think it's pretty neat.
And there's so much that they observe, right? In your behavior, whether, you talked about the health journey and the discipline at the table, and that's what you're teaching is discipline. I have a goal. I'm going to take action toward it.
It really F's them up though. Like last night we went out to dinner and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have a refeed meal. And I had a chimichanga. They're like, and my kids are like, are you good? Like, what are you allowed to do this?
Dad's about to explode.
Guys, chill, dude. It's fine. It's fine. Like, I know what I'm doing, but I believe in enjoying things here and there. I don't have the same emotional attachment to it, where it used to that would put me on a spiral and I would just go home and I'd binge eat.
And it's so applicable everywhere though, right? Like those things that we have to work through and the self-talk and the mirror and all the things that we talked about. I mean, I'm just hoping, like, I know you have a wide variety of audience, and I feel like we went a wide variety of ways today, which is super fun to be able to share.
Yeah, I think it's amazing because, like, and again, that's why I love this show. A lot of people will listen to it and like, well, hey, I learned a lot about life. I learned a lot about fitness. I learned a lot about spirituality. I learned a lot about mindset. It's like, no, like, we're going to talk about it all here. We're going to have actual fruitful conversations. Like, how boring is it for me to rifle off questions to you?
I've had, I love podcasting. These are one of my favorite things to do. And I've had people send me questions ahead of time, and I just won't look.
No, I don't want to know.
I just want to be conversational. I want to feel like what's right in the moment to off the cuff. And I appreciate that about the style of your podcast.
Thank you. I've had a lot of people ask me to send them questions as well. I'm like, no, it's not what we do here. Like,
and it's funny because we're kind of like, there's something in us that thinks that is the way to go. I remember the first keynote that I did, I had slides, totally fucked me up.
Oh, because you're looking.
I was like ahead of the slide.
Yeah.
I'm like, the clicker doesn't work. I mean, it was just one of those things I said, never again.
Yeah.
And every single time since I've gone into that more natural state, it has felt so much more connected and authentic, and I can riff, and I'm not worried. Did I forget something?
Well, I think that when you're truly connected and you've given that talk over and you've worked on it over and over and over again, you can deliver that thing at any point in time. I did use slides in Virginia Beach, and there was a couple of times where I'm looking and I'm like, damn it. Like, there was a pause, and the pause worked, but I know what I was thinking at that time. Like, okay, now I got to look here, and I'm, instead of just staying completely engaged, but it's just all feedback.
No, it's so true. And it's interesting because when you said that, like, there are definitely a time and a place for slides. The slides I was using had actually like prompts, which messed me up, versus like being a value add, like a chart or a visual or something like that. Yeah. I'm not hating on slides. I wouldn't say I wouldn't use them. It just messed.
But that's what I did too. I used prompts, and it was like, okay, it messed me up like once or twice. I'm like, okay. But it's funny because, like, I watched the talk. They sent me the raw. I was like, okay.
Do you ever do that sometimes? You look, it's got to be a former version of yourself who wouldn't have thought like, oh, I can't do that. I'm not cool enough to do that. That's crazy. And look back on it and go, well, damn.
I was actually pleased. I was actually impressed with what I did. was like, okay, cool. Time to build on that.
Yeah. Well,
Time to get better.
when I was reading my own book, I was like, well, what's she talking about?
Yeah. Who dis? Who dis? That's me.
Now I got to do something about this.
Now you got to write another one.
Right.
I expect your outline in my email at 30 days.
Right. Okay.
I'm just kidding. We could talk about that offline, but
We will. But it's important to surround yourself with people that are doing things that are pushing themselves, even if
Agreed.
it's not the same thing. And that's been the most important thing to this entrepreneurial journey that has changed the whole trajectory of my business, my thought process, my belief in self and others. I mean, it's been getting around people that are doing it. And it goes without saying, but I just didn't know what I didn't know when I started.
Yeah.
And so to be able to be in community with you and meet some more of your crew.
hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of days left in Naples. We're going to make
It's
it happen.
nuts. It's crazy. Yeah, you guys don't leave until Friday, right?
Yeah.
Wild. Well,
Lot
it's
of
been awesome having you on. Like, dude, like you said, we talked about a wide array of things, but I think the overarching lesson is like there's gonna be identity shifts. And a lot of times you're gonna have the word was deconstruction, right? Looking at yourself, doing a self-audit and deciding and really choosing yourself by saying, okay, this may be a hard internal conversation that I need to have with myself. And I may need to take action, but damn it, isn't it worth it?
So worth it.
I mean, like, what a valuable lesson, right? It's like sometimes I go through that with parenting as well. It's like, oh boy, I really fucked that one up. Like, got to get better, you know?
Well, and isn't it more fun to also think about, okay, so I mentioned 2 big creative distractions that I had. Look, there's maybe more.
Sure.
Gosh, I'm going to expect it. I'm going to get the opportunity to make tougher decisions down the road because it is going to better align with a more full life. And that's, it's all about the reframe. So
Yeah.
thank you for the opportunity to share all this. It's been really fun.
Well, there may have to be a part 2.
Yeah.
Well, especially if you're doing another book. There's gonna have to
Right.
be another one. You have to promote it. Book tour.
Absolutely. Naples was not on my city stop last time.
Might have to be now.
Yep.
Might have to be.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much. Appreciate you, Bridget. For those of you that watched and listened, please share the show. If you are intrigued by the show and you want to come on, there's a link in the show notes for an application to come on the show. If you have a compelling story, this is the first time I've ever spoken about it on a show. And I want to open it up to you and give it to the community. There is an application process. You're going to have to answer the questions and you're going to have to show the team why you stand apart or how you stand apart so we can have a deep conversation about you and what you've done. And listen, I don't care if you make $300 million or if you work at McDonald's and make $19.50 an hour. I want to know your story. If your story is compelling, I'm taking the one that works at McDonald's, not the one making $300 million. So until next time, stay determined.
Shawn French, what up? This one luck, I let the pain inspire me. I put my all in everything I'm doing. Up until it's done, I'm me for the entirety. I put in overtime, I be working. Just know I'ma go for mine, cause I earned it. They watching, I know it's time, I confirmed it. A whole society determined to show.